we had to make a little bit of a mess for this test. We broke down this vacuum test into 4 distinct stages. We've got sawdust and chips, we've got some damp sand, we got your favorite sugar rush in the morning, and we talked to a local husky who is happy to donate some hair for us. So for this vac test, we have one of Ryobi's original stick vacs, and it was a good one. We're going to compare that to the latest and greatest they've got and just see how much improvement they've made over our 4-stage track. Let's take a look at the damage that we've done here. So keep in mind that on the left-hand side we had the original stick vac and we had the newest one over here on the right-hand side. So taking a look at the sawdust and chips, what I'm seeing is both vacs left some of the chips behind, but clearly the newer one did a better job, and it looks like it got more of the dust up too. I'm not seeing as much in terms of that over here. Moving over to the wet sand, neither vacuum really liked it, but I'm not surprised by that. But notice the pattern here. See how this got spread out a little bit more? That's because of that front roller that the new vac has on it. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit. Moving over to our crushed up cereal, you can see we kind of drug some of the wet sand into this, but it's definitely the whole pieces of cereal that are left behind. I'm seeing a lot more of that over here on the left-hand side with the original. Looks like the new one did a better job of picking up in the smaller pieces. I'm seeing more small pieces in there too. So as we keep moving, see, especially here, we kind of broke some of these pieces up and then left them on the floor. We grabbed more of them with the new vac. And then with our husky, you might have to get in here a little bit closer to see the detail. Both of them actually did a pretty decent job of grabbing the fluff that was up there. But then if you look into the carpet fibers here, notice how the old one really kind of spread some of those fibers into the carpet, and it didn't do nearly as much on that. Now, having said that, clearly neither one of these is 100% perfect, but this was also one slow run over the top. When you're using these vacs in real life, you're going to be going over the same space multiple times, especially when you got a mess like this. So let's withhold complete judgment on that for now, but what we can tell is the new vac is definitely doing a better job of picking up more debris and more effectively, especially on the pet hair. All right, let's take a quick look at what we actually collected in the canisters here. So both of these are removable. I'm not going to quite dump this just yet, and the release is over here on the side. Oh, well, we just dumped some out by simply taking this off. All right, let's take a look at the canister. And that one pass really filled this thing up. So, and what just fell out came out of this flap here. So let's dump it out on the floor and see how much we collected compared to our other one there. So obviously canisters on the front. On this one, a little bit easier to access. And it's a little bit harder to see in here. Notice the cyclonic action. That's why that hair is around the sides here, and the larger debris kind of went to the bottom. This is also, it has more capacity. Part of that is because of the angle that they used on the original canister and this larger design and more cylindrical design on here. So let's pop this guy open. Yeah. There you go. Through. There we go. All right, so taking a look, here's our husky hair. Here's our husky hair. Actually, it looks pretty close in volume, but I think we've got more over here. It's kind of hard to tell with everything else that's mixed in, but I think pretty sure we got more in this one. And then as far as actual solid debris goes, let's pull this all together and just kind of take a look at it. And it definitely looks like we got more of the heavy stuff in the new vac than we did the old one. The light stuff picked up pretty well in both. But yeah, that heavier debris, this one definitely has more suction in it from the looks of it. So in that first test, we ran these vacuums exactly the way that they came kitted. And that means they had different batteries in it. They both had 4 amp hour batteries, but the new one had a high performance pack in it. In fact, when this model came out, high performance didn't even exist. So with the HP brushless upgrade, that high performance battery gives us an advantage. So we stuck the same battery. So now that we're going to test these guys apples to apples with the same pack and see if we get any kind of difference from what we did in that first test. All right, taking a look at the results, starting here with the dry stuff, I'm still seeing that we left more of the heavy chips behind, but it does look like we got a little bit of a suction boost over here compared to the first time we ran it. So these are a little more even. I'm actually seeing a little bit of dust left behind on both of these. Moving over, this really didn't change much at all. Wet sand is still wet sand. It didn't do either vacuum a favor. Getting into our Fruit Loops here, there was a big improvement using that high performance battery on this, but I'm still seeing more of the small stuff left behind. And it looks like, actually if I pick that up, that's pretty soft. I think our damp sand is influencing some of our Fruit Loops here and they're getting soggy, so I hope nobody will plan on eating those after the video. But yeah. So still leaving some small stuff behind, but definitely an improvement. And then here, it looks like it did a better job on the husky hair as well, but I'm still kind of seeing the same thing here where it really pushed some of the hair into the carpet fibers and left them more ground in than sucking them up. Whereas this one, I mean, that really didn't leave much behind compared to the hairs that I'm pulling out here. So you definitely do get an improvement from using that high performance battery in it, but I'm still seeing that we get better performance from the new vac. So before we wrap up, let's just go ahead and walk through this vac a little bit and show you what it has to offer. Now we've shown that it's got higher suction, but one of the other things that I noticed while we were vacuuming is the sound level is much quieter with this vac. In fact, it sounded like it wasn't working as hard as the other one, and then we got better suction out of it, so it's kind of like, huh. So nice little addition there. We did show that the canister holds more than the old one does. And of course, this is part of the HP brushless lineup. So we're taking advantage of that high performance battery and just the better motor technology that's in this generation. Now, one of the big selling points for this and why Ryobi calls this part of their pet rated line is this dual roller brush going on here. So we have, let's actually just take this guy off or stand him up, whichever's more convenient. There we go. Take a look under here. We've got kind of a soft brush here first, and notice that it did pick up some of our husky hair. And then we've got a more traditional carpet brush going on behind it. So between those two, it's helping to pick up more of the debris than you would get with just a single roller. And then of course having the extra suction from this brushless motor is helpful as well. You probably noticed in the video we do have LED lights here on the front of this attachment. And then we're going to point it out, even though it was already obvious. This vac stands up on its own, which is a big improvement over the other stick vacs that we've used in the past. As far as price goes, you're looking at $249 for the bare tool, and of course that comes with the attachments I showed you and a wall mount. The kit's going to run you $299. That's going to come with a 4 amp hour high performance battery and charger, and you can find these as always at the Home Depot and homedepot.com. Now if you have any questions or comments for us, there's the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. And while you're here, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button if you liked what you saw, and hit the notification bell so you know when we have more videos coming out. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to get to cleaning up, and I think I know which of these two vacs I'm going to use for it.